So the last time you guys seen me do an interview was a couple months back with Alex Hormozi. Many of you guys know him. You guys love the interview. For me, I like bringing in the best of the best. And when you got somebody like Alex Hormozi, a guy that's been in the industry for a decade, no sales, extraordinarily well, now you got to play at that frequency. So now I'm looking, we're sitting down with the team and we're thinking, shit, you can't get C-level players now on the podcast. And you guys were like, well, who's the next person going to be? Who are you going to interview next? We want this person. We want that person. And I don't make decisions. My team doesn't make decisions. The community always make decisions. I listen to the community, right? So I sat back down and I said, well, forget about just all the comments. Let's just look at the last year of energy of the people that we had coming to our events. So we just hosted an event 4 or 5 months ago here in Miami. If you guys don't know, we had a convention, a world-class closer convention. And that day when we were finished up the event, I was going through the DMs the next morning. You know, I'm just scrolling through all the requests, seeing people's comments, feedback. Hey, we loved you and we loved XYZ. I'm not gonna say the name yet. And then I see the next comment, the next comment, the next comment. And then I'm going through the after footage of the event with Steve. You guys know I bring a lot of energy. And then this individual comes on. I introduce her to come on stage and the energy just heightened by double. And that's hard. That doesn't happen. I said, why not bring this individual that helped create 139 seven-figure earners. So if you guys look at the ripple effect underneath that,
yes,
it's easy to say seven-figure earners, but you just don't do it alone. There's no self-made millionaire, so you don't listen to the BS. That means there's a lot of people that change lives under those seven-figure earners.
That's
a lot of six, a lot of five-figure earners, and a lot of four-figure earners. Okay, an individual that not just built up one successful direct sales and network marketing companies, but we were just chatting 5 minutes ago. She's built up a whole line, a horizontal line of products online and offline, has her own social media with millions of followers, been on a TV show, and has trained all around the world, build a global network marketing business and empire, not just in North America. She has teams in South America, Dominican Republic, 6 and 7 figure earners in Dominican Republic. So
Paraguay, Colombia.
The queen herself, Miss Stormy Wellington. Thank you so much.
I am so excited to be here.
Come on.
Energy. Thank you.
So this is gonna be good because I have a sales audience, you know that. I have a lot of also females inside of sales. And I was just telling you, you know, I can only resonate so much, so far with the females to where they're like, yeah, Dan, we get it, but you also don't get your period every single month.
That's right.
We do, you don't get us.
Exactly.
Right? When we cry, y'all don't understand why we cry.
Exactly.
And you're just like, what are you crying about?
Exactly.
Right? Because men are just A and B.
Exactly.
And women operate off feelings, men operate off logic. What's the money, And the woman's like, I don't feel like doing it right now. We never understand that. Like, oh, this feels good. I'm like, what are you feeling, right? I have some questions about leading females too in the female space, but I want to tie it back right now. Where did the business start for you? When and how did you get inside? Like reverse it 10, 15 years ago. How the heck did you get to this point to where you are today? But what was the ground roots of Stormy Wellington?
The ground roots of Stormy Wellington, I would have to say, is watching my mom sell drugs. My mom ran a very serious drug empire here in Miami. As a female, I watched her move between her feminine and masculine energy. I watched her be a mom. I watched her be a functioning crackhead. And I said, wow, I remember one day telling her, I'm gonna not be like you one day when I grow up. But I learned a lot of business acumen from watching her keep up with her books, keep up with her money, her grind, her re-up, and protect herself. And I was like, wow, I want to do something like this one day, but I also watched my mom go to jail a lot. And so I'm like, okay, I don't want to go to jail. And so my earlier years of watching my mom hustle, I saw freedom, I saw flexibility, I saw helping people, I saw leadership, and I saw prison. And so as I aged, you know, I did a lot of things growing up. I used to be a stripper. I used to do illegal scams. I used to traffic drugs. I had my first child when I was 15. And I used to be a TSA agent. I used to be the girl that dated all the drug dealers and the football players. And I just, by the age of like 28, I got tired of it. And I'm like, okay, I have to figure something out. I uprooted my family. I moved to Atlanta. And in Atlanta was my first time ever seeing Black success that wasn't drugs, scheming, and scamming. I never saw Black realtors and Black people with families. Like here in Miami, it's really heavily populated Latino. Right. And so I saw a lot of Spanish success.
Why do you think that is in Atlanta?
Because a lot of Black people are from there. There's a lot of Black people from Atlanta and Southern, you know, hospitality. They wave, they believe in networking. You got to remember, different parts of the world require a different demeanor. You know, here in Miami, it's, you know, do or die. Protect yourself, you know, stand up for yourself. But then when you get to Atlanta, it's like, hi, how are you? Come over here.
Right.
And so when I moved to Atlanta, I saw Black success and I saw people networking. And I ended up getting in network marketing after I moved to Atlanta, and I believe.
Wait. How did you What was the interaction for you getting into network marketing? How long did it take? How did you get introduced to it? I just need to know.
Okay. So I moved to Atlanta. Okay, so I'm working as a TSA agent at the airport, and I hated it. I used to see all the little cute girls come through the airport, you know. And at first I thought I had a great job. My family and everybody was like, oh, celebrate, you got a government job, great job, you know. My goal back then was to be a customs agent and a correctional officer. But then after I saw the cute girls coming through the airport, I noticed that either they dated somebody who's famous and successful, or they were in some type of sales or distribution. And so I moved to Atlanta. And at first when I got to Atlanta, I was just trying to find my way. Many people don't know this, but I was a bartender. I used to work at Nordstrom's. So I understood the mixture of sales, networking, communicating, relationships, back from stripping. But then I come to Atlanta, and at first I'm working as a bartender. You gotta be nice. You gotta know how to communicate, or you're not gonna get that tip. And then I go to sales at Nordstrom's, and it's like, okay, now you gotta learn customer service, and then you gotta hope that that client don't bring the clothes back. So I just kept learning. And then I got into customer service. I used to work at a company called RMS. We used to close and collect on closed accounts with Sprint. So I'm working at RMS. I'm making $13 an hour. I make $1 million in 7 months for the company.
Is your child with you in Atlanta at this point?
So no, my daughter is with a friend of mine.
Got it.
My son is with his dad, and I only have 2 kids at this time. It's just me and my 2 children. But I was pretty much not a single parent because they were with family members.
Got it.
But anyway, I'm living in Atlanta. I'm doing collections. I closed $1 million or collect $1 million in 7 months for my collections company. At this time, my water is disconnected at home. I turned it back on. My lights are about to get cut off, and my car just gets repossessed. And so my boss calls me in the office one day and like, you know, great performance. Because of your great performance, we're going to give you a raise. So I'm thinking my raise is going to be, you know, $5. It took about 7 months, and I found out my raise was 25 cents. And that for me was my defining moment for me to realize that I have to figure out a way to be an entrepreneur, because a job is only going to give me what they think I'm worth versus what I'm worth. Sure.
So now when network marketing comes in, how did you get introduced to it?
Okay, so before even then, okay, let's go back. I did real estate. I forgot about that. So I leave this job as a collections agent, and I end up connecting with the realtor. So I started to be like the middleman, middlewoman between the deals. So I didn't get my real estate license, but every deal I bought my realtor friend, he would give me like a 30% commission.
Right. You're just brokering the deals.
I'm just brokering the deals.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing everybody from Miami, hey, come to Atlanta, buy this house. This was right before the real estate crash. So I know you kind of young.
So 06, 07?
05, 06. Okay. The real estate crashes.
Yeah.
I got all these houses. I got all these people in houses, and I look up and I can't close any deals. Even the house that I just had purchased at the time, I couldn't even pay the mortgage on it. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I got to figure something out. So one of my friends took me to a club one night, and I meet this guy who was telling me about this opportunity to make all of this money, basically trying to pitch me for network marketing. I'm not interested, because again, for me, network marketing is a pyramid, it's a scheme, it's a scam, all the money goes to the top.
Did you know about it prior to this? A little bit about it? Like you knew what like maybe Avon was or something? I didn't.
So I got recruited for Mary Kay.
Got it.
I was in the mall one day, and the lady was like, you're so pretty, you know, the sales strategy. You're so pretty, come model at my show tonight. And it was her Mary Kay meeting. So I signed up at Mary Kay when I was like 18.
Got it.
And I didn't do anything, so I didn't make anything.
And you had a bad mindset probably about it too.
I didn't blame myself. It was Mary Kay didn't work. So I bought $600 worth of makeup and never sold anything. So of course I joined the crew of scheme, scam, it doesn't work. Only the people at the top make the money. So anyway, I'm living in this house. I can't pay the rent. So I'm like, okay, I know what I could do. I could rent this house out, collect first, last, and security, file bankruptcy, so get this free money and live off this money while I'm trying to hustle my way through life.
Right.
So this guy comes to my house and he's like, I'll rent it out. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an extra $10,000 if you complete the basement. So I'm thinking, okay, I could get first, last, security and an extra 10. Mind you, I'm not paying the mortgage because I filed bankruptcy. I could move into another apartment, take his money, live off of it, boom. So I ended up having to try to find somebody to finish the basement. So I called the guy that I met at the club, and he was a contractor. And he came over my house, and this was his sales pitch. He's measuring my house. Again, he doesn't know I'm broke and not planning on giving him any money. So he's measuring everything in my house, and he's like, let me ask you a question. Do you or anybody you know want to lose 5 pounds without diets, exercise, surgery, or pills? So I immediately get offended. I'm like, are you trying to call me fat? He's like, no, my wife is beautiful. She just had a baby 4 months ago. And if you see her, she looks like she never had a baby. You got to meet my wife. He edified his wife so big to me that the next day I was willing to meet with her. And that was my first real exposure to network marketing before I actually got started.
Do those individuals, was that your current company that you're in today or no?
No, this was my first company 16 years ago.
What are those individuals doing right now? Do you know?
You know what? They still doing contracting. They
Okay.
they own like a credit repair wealth company, and they're still involved in network marketing.
They're
a little
doing
bit.
well?
Yeah, they're doing very well. They're part of the Pinnacle group I told you about.
You know, there's men and women in network marketing, and I think what he did was cool because he started edifying his wife.
Edification.
Also coming from a male perspective, it's smart because he's like, well, you know, she could probably resonate more with my wife, so let me just take off pressure and you respect it a little bit more. Before I go into everything, do you think there's a difference between, you know, males selling females? Is there something like males should know selling females?
Absolutely.
Because as a male, if I go up to a lady, it doesn't matter, even if the lady is taken, the lady always has a defense on her. The guard's always up as a female, right?
A man is the best person to approach a woman for anything.
Why so?
First of all, I tell you the truth, okay? That's why we need each other. Women love to get approached by a man because number one, to her, it helps to build her confidence because that means it's something about her that attracted that man. So he's building her confidence just off the communication.
Right.
Number two, if a man approaches a woman and he has to disarm her fast because she does think that you're trying to talk to her. But I give you the best disarming strategy, right? If you're trying to recruit me or connect with me, you're not trying to holler at me.
Right,
you got
right,
a wife
right,
and
right,
kid
right,
at home.
right.
The first thing you'll say to me is, that dress is amazing. My wife would love that. Can you give me the information where you got it from? As a matter of fact, y'all remind me of each other. What do you do for a living? Oh my God, you have that energy like my wife. And she's a queen and I could tell you're a queen too.
Done. Yeah, because automatically right away, you know it's not a date.
Yeah.
You know it's right into business.
And then now if I think I look good, you're gonna want to meet my wife. So you have to disarm the woman, edify her, but let her know there's a woman I want to connect you to, not me.
And if I didn't have a wife, let's say it's my position, no wife, no kids, I would just bring in another female.
You have to bring in
inside of my
female.
organization and be like, hey, by the way, you should meet Melissa inside of my company. You guys would vibe out together. You got the colors going on. She got the colors going on. You guys should meet each other.
Oh my God.
Do you think the same thing goes for females? Now let's say Vanessa is a network marketer and I'm a male and she sees like a killer like me, Daniel G, but I'm lost inside of life. And she's like, wow, this guy would work amazing inside of network marketing. How does a female approach a male inside of business? Because the male, if you smile at a guy, the guy thinks you want to go home and sleep with him. So it's like, because guys, you can just say hi and we think the wrong thoughts. Yes. So how does a female approach a male where the male, like the male can sense respect, money, power, growth, and the intention is right from the female, right? Because I see a lot of the top 1% network marketers in the world, direct sales reps, entrepreneurs. I sit down with them and you don't even get the vibe that they want to sleep with you or anything like that. They're like, hey, straight to the money, straight to the business. But at the same time, they're not too alpha. Like they also have the feminine part of them. Like, you know, they'll smile, they'll be nice, etc. So is there a way for a female to approach a male inside of business too as well?
1,000,
where there's respect in the business?
I've been in network marketing for 16 years. I can count on one hand how many men have ever tried to date me.
No way.
No lie.
No.
But I know why. I get to the business fast. Even when they compliment me. Like I get compliments all the time, but I know how to turn that compliment around quick and not make you feel like I'm just so in awe by your compliment. So I think that women have to know that not every man wants to sleep with them. Not every man, and every woman needs to know every man is not for you to date. So when I'm talking to somebody, again, I always begin with a compliment and I let them know quickly, this is about business. Hey boy, I love your outfit. What do you do? I can tell you a boss. You about your money. What's up? Talk to me. What you do? You and you. I love those Giuseppe. I shop at Giuseppe all the time. But who's your rep? What do you do? I got a Cartier ring similar to this too. This is really nice. You love jewelry. You a boss. What do you do? So I'm not. Did I give you any sexual energy at all? I touched your finger and everything.
Right.
So it's your energy, and you have to know within your being that every man doesn't want to fuck you.
Right.
And every woman doesn't want to be slept with.
And it's intention too. When you have mixed intentions, that's where shit's up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like when a woman doesn't know what she wants or a guy doesn't know what he wants.
Exactly.
Once a girl's pretty, if it's a guy like one of my sales reps, he's thinking, maybe I can date this girl too. So you go in there with these mixed intentions instead of saying it's right to business.
Exactly.
So I think it's intention first, because
Exactly.
I know you train on this, like, your thought's gonna create your frequency inside of business.
Exactly.
So I say it doesn't matter how good your strategy is, if your thought's messed up and you don't know what you want, like you're still not serious about your goal, then your strategy and everything follows. Like if you don't know that right now is bread season, let's call it, then you'll get messed up when you go prospect. Because you'll be like, oh, the guy's cute, but it ain't cute season right now. It's get your money season, so it's doing what you're doing. It's like, hey, by the way, love your watch, what are you doing? What do you do for a living? Not twirling your hair and asking personal questions, getting right to the business, right? So I like that, because I always say, hey, number one, don't be flirtatious. Right? Know your intentions. Number two, get right to the business. Don't ask personal questions. Don't be like, hey, by the way, like, where do you go to school? Blah, blah. Get right to business. Just like you said naturally. You said, what do you do for a living? You didn't say like, oh, where are you from? Do you like Miami? What do you do for a living? You led right away with the business-related question.
And I look you straight in the eye.
Correct.
Right away.
You have a team of women and men. Do you lead them differently, or it's all the same? Or do you have men lead some of the men?
I've coached both male and females. It's a big difference.
Really?
Very big difference.
What's one of them? If you had like a Daniel G on your team, how do you coach a man differently to get this guy motivated?
Oh, absolutely. Well, one of the things that is important is when you're leading a man, you have to let him know that his opinion still matters. And you have to find a way to make him feel like the leadership that you're giving him was his idea. So I have to lead him to knowing that this is a better way to do that particular thing. But with a female, I could directly say, you got to do this directly without helping to navigate her to tell me. But the man, I need him to say it out of his mouth to accept that he came up with it, not me.
Right. Okay.
It has to be his idea. It can't feel like Stormy gave it to me. Coach told me to do this. The women love to say, Coach told me to do this. Coach said. The men don't want to say that. The men want to say, what I was talking to Coach, and what I told her that we should do this, and she agreed that it was a great idea.
Like you almost like stroke the ego.
Very much have to.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the end result.
They don't want to feel like a woman is telling them what to do. A woman loves that.
And you don't care as a leader giving that guy that power and position, right?
No, I want the money. Result. I don't care nothing about my ego. I don't have an ego. I want the money. And
so even if the guy has an ego, stroke it. But as long as you know you can get him to the end result, lead him to the end result.
Oh, he's not going to be a millionaire.
Got it.
He has to have man. He has to be a man. And he has to want to own his manhood too. Or he's not going to be a millionaire.
Your past, I don't want to get into it for 2 hours because we can do a whole episode for 10 hours on your past.
Sure.
However, I think a lot of people just go through the exact same events in life, just in different details. Like some people experience anxiety in different ways, depression in different ways, bad situations in different ways. If there's somebody right now, you've been through it all. Like you said, you were dancing, drug dealing, scamming, worked regular jobs at TSA, etc. So you know what the lows and the highs are. And you also probably know like what it is building income and then, half of income going down or 99% of income going down in the beginning days. Because it's okay inside of life to, make $1,000 a month and then go broke. But when you learn how to make 10, 20, 50, $100,000 a month and go back to zero, it's a whole nother feeling that you got to deal with. Because now you know what it is to have money. There's nothing worse than having money and losing money. What would you say to somebody right now that is just in a difficult position inside of their life and they can't see outside of their lens? Like they think they're the only person going through that hard situation and they're building right now and they're like, yeah, but it's very easy for you to say, Coach Stormy, like look at your success and look what you got right now. But right now, my boyfriend just broke up with me. Right now, I just went through this. My parents just left me or whatever the case is. What advice do you have for the young individual to stay focused? Because I see so much distractions right now. It's not sometimes you're in the field like I am and we coach people and sometimes you realize it's not about business. A lot of it isn't. Like you'll realize the guy's going through a bad breakup, the girl's going through a bad breakup and they can't even focus on the business because there's no mental real estate. And I try to train people. I'm like, hey, when you get your money, it's going to give you some mental real estate to allow you to respond to people and not react to people inside of your life. So what advice do you give people when they're going through struggling times and difficult times simultaneously while still trying to build a business?
There's a lot, and I would be wrong if I said this is the one answer. But one thing I could tell you that I've learned in just the last 10 days of my life is that you are going to rise to the level of your systems, but you could fall or get stagnated based upon the level of your goals. A lot of times we reach our goals, we hit them, and what happens when you hit your goals? So what I've learned is that you have to live inside of a life system. The things you do every day that guarantee results. Like I know I would never be broke another day in my life. It's not possible.
Right.
Why? Because I don't have a broke system. It's not possible. I'm gonna grow every day. I'm gonna make money every day. I'm gonna connect every day. I'm gonna grow every day. I'm gonna learn every day. I'm gonna work every freaking day. There's no possible way. I'm gonna have respect, integrity, character, honor. I'm gonna treat people right. I'm gonna communicate effectively and clearly. There's no way, but I did not know that back in the day. I also didn't realize how much you need community. A lot of people want to be isolated and be to themselves and all that. No, man should not be alone. You need community. You need environment. You need to find you a mentorship program. You need to find you a coaching community. You need to find you a mastermind. Like, you cannot just hang with your little friends.
I agree so much.
You need a freaking community. You need a community that pushes you, that makes you feel uncomfortable. Like this weekend, I'm going to hang out. One of my students made about $29 million in the last 8 years with me.
Wow.
She has a village.
She's in your business?
She's in my business. Her name is Ana Contetta. She lives in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I know her, yes.
And I'm going to her village this weekend. And she was like, so coach, what do you want to do? I said, let me explain something to you, bitch. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I said, I want you to impress me. I'm coming to your house with 15 of our top leaders. I want the coconuts, the pineapples, the dancers. So show off, impress us.
Right.
So why is that important? I want to be inspired.
Right.
I live nice, but after a while you drive, I crank up my Rolls Royce fashion. It's like, okay, there's only so much the stars is exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, your cars, you appreciate it, but after 2 weeks, it's like, all right, it's mine already.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need community. You need to go around people that's talking about new ideas, new things, new investments, like things that they're doing to grow. And I think that unfortunately we have no system and we have no community.
I agree with you.
And then we have no vehicle and no vision, and then we have no consistency. So of course you're going to be it's a disaster. All of these things is a disaster and a recipe for success. So I mean for failure.
Right.
So you have to get around the right community. You got to have a vehicle, a vision, and you got to have a life system.
The other thing is maybe you got friends, but those friends they're just complainers with you. So you say something, you're like, yeah, I'm in a hard situation too. I don't like that inside of my life.
Friends don't let you settle.
You could test them right away. Tell them you have a hard day and these people that want to come massage you. I'm like, I don't want you to massage you.
Exactly.
I want you to push me up. I don't need massaging. I didn't get into
Exactly.
business to get massaged and have pittiness. I don't want pittiness inside of my business.
Thank you.
I want people to drive me inside of my business,
Thank you.
right? So,
But I feel like in 2024, we got to talk about it more, because there's no reason why you who are over there struggling in 2024, even if it's on the internet. I have coaches and mentors I never met. I never met Bob Proctor face to face. I didn't have that privilege to go to any of his events. I never met Napoleon Hill. I just met, John C. Maxwell maybe 2 years ago.
but we've been studying them forever.
Right.
Yeah.
You now have access because of the internet. So when I look at you and even me, we was outside. We was grassroots campaigning. We was reading books. We wasn't listening to Audible. That wasn't in existence 15 years ago. We was listening to iPods. You know what I mean? But now that we can tell people, you need to find a community, we need to talk about it. I could feel when social media people are waiting for me to come online. I could feel when they don't see me enough. It's crazy. Like,
me too,
I tell people, I work here. Don't look at my live, I'm at work. I've made, listen, in my network marketing company, less than 10 years, November makes 10 years, I made over 51 million earned income.
In your network marketing company?
In my one network marketing company.
The current one you're with right now?
The current one I'm in right now.
51 million.
51 million. And 39 millionaires in this one network marketing company.
And you've been with your company for a decade, you said?
November 11th makes a decade.
In today's day and age, you see it too a lot. Like, there's a new company every single week. There's always a new thing, best thing, this thing, that software, this technology, blah, blah, right? You've been in your company for 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
I just said my grandmother's been in her company for 55 years. How important do you think this is? I was just on this subject 2 hours ago on a live stream talking about like products and company and importance. What's first of all kept you in the company for 10 years? I want to understand, because people can't stay in a company for 6 months anymore. Like, they're like, oh, next best thing. You've probably seen it a million times inside of your organization. Somebody's in the company, they go on social media. Well, this is the best thing because they have a better compensation plan. Then you move and you're like, oh yeah, but they had shitty products. Oh, but this is better because they have better products. But they had a shit. Like, you're never going to see perfect in life. You've gotten pitched everything probably by everyone. Oh, but this company come here, try to be poached, try to be moved here. How important is it, and what's kept you in the company for the last decade? What's that mindset? Because you could have probably had transitions to another company. They're like, here's a check, $5 million. I got a check every single week. Daniel, here's a check, I'll pay you this. Stay inside of the company, be the VP of sales, grow a business.
Yeah.
How do you stay in a company for 10 years when people can't stay in for 10 days?
So I call it the 4 Ps. The first P I'll tell you is the products. Like, I love my products. Like, I'm 44. My energy levels is through the roof. My focus, my stamina. I just did some blood work with my doctor about 2 weeks ago, and my doctor was ranting and raving about everything that came back. So she was bragging about my vitamins, my B12 levels, my vitamin D levels. So I know that I have good product, my everything. So that's number one. The second thing is the paycheck. My company pays, we have a incredible compensation plan. My biggest month was $3 million inside of my network marketing company.
Wow.
In 1 month.
Wow.
Exactly. The third thing is I love the people. The people in my business. My owner, like I know what the worst of his personality is. I know what the worst that he's gonna do. You understand? Like he's not perfect.
Right,
but
right,
I know
right.
the worst of what he's gonna do. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
That's big. A lot of times you get in these network marketing companies and they turn into transformers. 1 minute they love you, the owners, next minute they different. I've had nothing but consistent experiences with my network marketing company owner. And then the process in which we build. I love that the average ordinary person can start in my company and have success without being a network marketer. So we have like network marketing for dummies, if that makes sense.
Got it.
It's very
like I join, I don't know what to
You don't have to have no network marketing experience. It's not complicated.
Right.
It's like use the product, get results, sell it.
Yeah. And it's funny because you are, what you just said about process, I watch, like, you know, we're always moving on social media, but I also watch when a video pops up or I watch you on your stories, you train the exact same thing. When I hear B-roll, if somebody's filming you in the back and you're like, it's so easy, 1, 2, and 3.
The same thing. But that's the thing, for same thing in 7 companies. Every network marketing company I've been in, if you go look at 29-year-old Stormy, I teach the same thing. I just, I may be more evolved and more mature.
Sure.
But you can look at the pattern and like, oh crap, this girl teaches the same thing. So this must work because she's been doing it. She's coached 139 first generation millionaires. She's been consistent through the peaks and the valleys, the ups and the downs. She's still around. Like, okay, her process must really work. And that's what gives me confidence because I'm looking at me. I'm blown away myself, Daniel. I look back and I'm like, I still do that. I need to tell people about this. I need to get louder because this is what I do. And look at me now. I look at my peers and network marketing is changing bad. I don't know if you noticed, but it's going from like 25, 35 age, 45 age group now to 18 through 25. Statistically, more 18 to 25-year-olds is entering into the game. So you have to know how to work.
Just because of social media.
You got to learn how to work with them. So you got to learn how to sensationalize it. Because if it seems like your nana's company, they're not going to want to do it. So how you got on that live and show that, that's what the younger folks want to see.
You know what I noticed is a special power from you is just staying relevant. I'm young, I'm 30, okay?
You're 30?
I'm 30. But hey, we hang out with people. My sales reps, one's in here. Moose, how old are you? 24.
I have a daughter your age.
There's another, how old's Jamil? 23. So I'm sitting down in my car with them and I'm like, man, I feel like your guy's father at this point.
Women makes 10 years. I made over 51 million earned income.
In your network marketing company.
In my one network marketing company.
I'm thinking, man, I'm old because these kids are on like TikTok doing these dances. I don't even know. Most important thing for me is staying relevant. So it's watching and people I don't even care if like, say if I worked in your company and my company's outdated, I'm like, good, you're outdated, but I'm going to stay relevant because they're buying off my brand. And I noticed from you, you stay relevant. You're with your community. You're live. You're cool. Like people don't get that. This is what media is about. When people understand social media, like you got to be with people. It's entertainment, it's education, it's entertainment. And it's a factor that not a lot of people understand. And I think social media will eat you up and spit you out if you're not relevant.
Right.
It'll eat you. If you're a realtor and you're just like, this is my home for $4.5 million. And you just put a post about it.
It's not gonna work.
I'm gonna eat you up because I'm gonna go on camera. I'm gonna be like, Vanessa, bring the camera. Hey guys, walk in. Hey, take off your shoes because you're marble floors. I'm a promote it. So for you,
wow, thank you.
I notice you are so relevant.
Yes.
So relevant. You're always with them. And it's cool, like it's fun. And even if you had $1 to your name, if I just took away everything from you, the Rolls Royce, cars, jewelry, everything, I still know you would still be able to show up and be relevant if you had an iPhone. Because people think it's the cars that are making you relevant, but it's not.
It's not.
It's you, it's the personality. That's something you're conscious about, or you're just that cool?
I am conscious about it. I just didn't know to call it that. I call it being consistent. But I love how you're saying relevant because that's what it is. You could be consistent and be boring as hell with your consistency. Right. But you could be consistent and relevant and controversial. So I purposely do things knowing that it's stirring up controversy.
I was about to ask this soon.
I would say to myself, okay, I'm getting a little boring. Like I look at how many, like within the last 30 days, I had 2.6 million viewers come to my page. I want to get that up to 3 million. So I'm trying to think now, what is the little controversial little thing that I could piss them off about? So I love the controversy.
This is what Steve's been with me for 6 years. When I feel the energy's low, same thing. I'm like, Steve, I need something to make me mad right now.
Exactly.
Let's stir it up. Like even if I don't have to call somebody directly, let's bring up a subject that people don't like.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna still feel it, but I know it's gonna stir up some heat. I'm gonna feel it from my heart, or I'm not gonna do it. Now, with your social media, you said you like to stir up things and you get hate. And I've watched you get backlash, right? And one person quits their business because they get one bad comment. And you get 20,000 people bashing you for a post, you know? There's one post, I love this post. You made it with I don't know who it was. Was it with Tammy, with the food?
Low vibrational plates.
Yeah. It was with Tammy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you made the post, right? And you just get hate off of it, right? I want to know the real thing that's first going through your head when all that happens, when you get like almost like global hate from like Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. What's going through your head? Is it like, yeah, but these people are making much as me. These people are lost. Haha, you're laughing. Are you sad? Are you thinking about it? Are they covering up your blind spots? Like, some haters, maybe they have validation. You're like, give me more. Like, what's happening? Because some people can't get over one comment. And I feel like you probably deal with this every single month. And some people also don't see what you deal with. They just see on the social media aspect, but there's behind the scenes too. You know, people cutting you up inside the DMs. I know, we all get it. You know, it's like you guys just see one thing, but y'all don't see all the fires behind the scenes, the hate behind the scenes. And sometimes the hate that people don't even have to talk about it out of their mouths. You could just feel it.
That's right.
Like I could feel it. I can feel when somebody's, that person don't like me right now.
For real.
Right? So what's going on in your head
oh my God.
My question is to show up tomorrow and still show up. Because that's the hardest thing. Because you won't know that Daniel G's, you know, down and out because I'm gonna show up tomorrow.
Exactly.
And I might be a little bit angry, but I'm still showing up. So what gets you to show up?
So I gotta be transparent, to be honest. You know, I went through my biggest social media like crucifixion ever. Back, I think it was in I don't remember what year that was that George Floyd got murdered. Remember that time?
Yes, yeah.
So I didn't really understand. I was dialed into my network marketing company, and I went through like the biggest crucifixion ever. I watched like 250,000 people unfollow me in like a minute. Like I watched my followers go backwards. People was threatening me. People was driving by my house, like with guns and showing guns through their windows. It was crazy.
So it was more than just social media at that point.
It
got real.
Yes. So that was like my worst. Like I disappeared. I hated social media, but I needed that. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to me because all of the emotions that come with that type of experience, I experienced it, and now I know who I am authentically. And even then, I know who I am and what I do for people. So I don't let one hater affect me or offend me. I say, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. When you offend me or you try to offend me, you don't know me. Or when you get affected or offended by me, you don't know me. So I know that everything that I do, there's a good intent behind it. If you knew the rest of the story, it's so many different parts to that experience with Tammy. Tammy, when I first met Tammy, she was homeless. Her first 3 years, she made $25,000 with me. Within the last 3 years, Tammy has made over $3.2 million with me as her coach.
Wow.
She lost about 100 pounds. She's engaged to get married. And when I first started mentoring her, she was living in her car. Now she has a $1 million house that she bought as me being her mentor. So with all of those things, people don't know that I'm responsible for her.
Right.
I saw her getting fat. I saw her depressed, and there are some things I know that she was dealing with personally at home. So I was able to take that experience and use it as a metaphor and say, you see, you're letting them put anything on your plate. The same thing you're allowing back home. So I knew that the people didn't know me. If they knew me and knew us, they would have been celebrating me. I would have been a hero from that. So I just think it's funny. I actually enjoy it because I know who I really, 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 really am.
So when you were going through that recently, you were just kind of like, this is just part of the game, right?
I was sad for her. So it was hard for her. Like people don't know this, but she was kind of like a little touch like suicidal for real.
Because you were good.
I was
you knew how to
good.
build it up from before.
I was
right?
already strong, but I didn't realize people tried to turn that on our relationship. They tried to make her feel like I was disrespecting her. I don't love her. Look how I did her. I embarrassed her. I talked to her like crap. So I had to keep reminding her of who I am for real in her life.
Right.
And that season, like it was bad. Like she ended up flying to spend some days with me because we needed each other in that moment because the world tried to make her think that I didn't love her. But she knew, and thank God we're so tight. We have a real genuine bond. She didn't let that turn, her against me. But she had family members that said, I'm not talking to you no more. She had people quit her team and everything. She had people quit her team. Family members say, I'm never talking to you again. You're stupid. You let Coach Stormy talk to you any kind of way because you won't stand up for yourself. I'm quitting. She had a housekeeper quit and everything.
Yeah, but little do they know that the 99.9 behind the scenes, you built her up, and there was so much good behind the scenes that they don't see even the depth of to where she is today was because of you, because she listened and she was open-minded.
Exactly.
And majority of people there that are commenting are probably closed-minded anyhow, right? And then I want to switch it. So that's social media. To me, it's like, it's funny now because I'm like, you know, you go to bed, and when you go to bed and you know who you are, it's good. I think hate is only bad when you don't show up and you know something's off, and now hate, you get emotional for it because you're lost a little bit. But if you know you're operating good, you're selling good products, you are who you are, you go to bed and you joke. I sleep comfortable.
You laugh at the people.
Yeah, I sleep comfortable.
Poor people.
Especially from social media. Like it's different. Social media is different from close people, right? So there's two lines of hate. One is social media. To me, that kills people. But to me, I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm good. We sell good. We're good people. I travel the world for my heart, for other people. I'm good. I sleep good. I eat good. My family's good. Everything's good. Now I want to switch that there's closer people around you. Like you grew up and you out-leveled people, right? So it's like you're a rocket ship. You got one girl, you're at 1,000 a month with her, then boom, you go to 10,000 and she's here, and maybe she has a little bit of hate. And then you go to 1 million, you had one guy at 100,000, but he doesn't want to do what you did to get to 100,000. Like everybody wants what you have, they don't want to do what you do, right? Like everybody wants, you know, the results, but they don't want to put in the work behind it. So when you start growing that, and you have close people around you now, forget the social media for a second. You have close people around you doing you dirty, saying things that aren't real, sometimes like saying things that aren't real just to launch themselves off again, or whatever the case is. People will step all over you just to build back up their stuff for a second. I've seen this happen throughout my life over and over and over again. And I think it's a little bit different because you thought you had a sense of loyalty with the individual, right? Forget about social media. These people are the closest people around you, you know? If like Steve goes to turn his back, I'm like, man, dude, we traveled the world together for 6 years. How did this guy do this to me? What do you do in those situations? Because those situations are things sometimes are the ones that aren't talked about. Like the social media ones, we could be like, oh, F the haters, blah, blah, blah. But those ones are like the hardest ones because that like breaks a sense of loyalty, right? And those were always the hardest things for me inside of my business. How did that person do that to me when I literally fed the person? Like I fed them for 5 years.
That's right.
Like they are where they are because of me, you know, and then they go do X, Y, Z. How do you deal with those emotional points inside of your life? Because I think that's hard, breaking loyalty.
Yeah. So again, I'm 44. I've been in network marketing for almost 16 years. At this point, it's like the birds got them, right? I know what role I played in their life. And one of the things I was just talking about this with Vanessa, when I see people not elevating, may not be as fast as me, because let's take in consideration, like you've been doing personal development since you were 15, right?
Yeah.
I'm 44. I've been reading books and growing since I was 29, non-traditionally growing. So I realized that people are not going to grow as fast as I grow. So I used to have an expectation. I used to get mad when people wasn't making money as fast as I'm making money, when they wasn't, you know, growing as fast as I was growing, it would annoy me. Now I just take it at face value and I respect that that's their pace, but I also do my part to try to stretch them. And if they don't get results, I really separate myself from those people, because those are the people that always turn around, especially if they spend a lot of time with you, they feel entitled to your success. Like you said, Steve, is that his name?
Steve,
let's just say Steve.
Yeah.
Just check this out, right? Let's say Steve is working with you for 5 years and he does do a lot for you, but you did it and you still compensated Steve. If Steve doesn't get something extra from your relationship, whether it's more money, more peace, more excitement, if he doesn't accept what you're giving him, even if it's not financially, eventually you and Steve are gonna have an issue because he's gonna feel like you owe him something. So there has to be a very clear understanding of what does Steve want from your relationship, or just know it's just a matter of time when Steve gonna turn his back on you and become exactly what everybody else became.
Right.
So I now know that I need elevate. If you hang with 5 millionaires, you become number 6. I don't really allow broke people that close to me anymore. It doesn't work because they always think that you owe them something, and those are the people that'll set your ass up to get robbed. Those are the people that talking trash about you, and those are the people that you don't realize are coverts in your empire. And when you come to them with these big ideas, these be the people that'll discourage you from your big ideas.
Right.
So I do not allow those people around me no more. And if they do come around, it's for a class, an event, and they better be lucky they got a little time with me. But after that, the intimate time, hanging out with those kind of people, I don't do that no more. It doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work. Either you're my student, either you're my broke friend or my rich student.
Right.
I don't
Ooh,
want
I like
and I don't
that.
have no broke friends. I don't want no broke friends. Now I got some broke friends that I still holler at every now and then, but I don't hang around them.
But they're shelved. You know where they're at.
You're right, because
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
reason why you broke and you got me.
Correct.
Because there's no reason why you broke and you got me. And if you got me and you broke, something is wrong with you, and it's just a matter of time because there's some jealousy there, or you don't have confidence in me as your friend because there's no freaking way you're my friend and you're broke.
I tell the woman, right, that I'm with, I'm like, hey, listen, you can't be broke within the next 6 months.
Come on.
I'm like, hey, what you want, I'll feed you, whatever, you're good.
That's right.
But you got 6 months because it's almost an insult to me.
Thank you.
Like, hey, I'm not going to give you too much. I'm going to give you, you're going to do it. Then I'm going to give you more and you're going to do it. I'm going to give you more and you're going to do it.
Come on.
But there ain't no way I'm going to buy you a bag. And
No.
you're not going to come to me and be like, Daniel, what would you do in this situation, right? Like, I like problems. Give me problems. Don't complain about life. Give me problems. So it works the same thing inside of relationships, right? Like, I think men and women will deal with this. If a woman's dating a man, and maybe the woman levels up fast and the man's not right there yet, he has a little period to be like, hey, is this guy's going to start building? Okay, is he going to start building? Is he going to complain?
Come on.
Or is he going to give me business problems? I like business problems.
Thank you.
I like bring me business problems. I don't like complaints. I don't like when people say shit's hard.
Thank you.
I like to say it's hard because of X, Y, Z. What would you do? You want to work. Like, there's a difference in language always too when you lead people. So I like that you touched on you know, the loyalty aspect of it too as well. But I'm gonna show you my standpoint of like people, like, you know, I think you have to operate business off of service and gratitude. I also think sometimes you also need a chip on your shoulder.
That's right.
I don't believe people on social media where they're like, oh, you just gotta be kumbaya and shit. I have seasons, like one week, I'll be like, hey, you know what? It's all for the love. I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm in that section. Yep. But then there's another week where I'm like, oh, this guy did me dirty. I'm like, this week's for this guy.
That's right.
But because I think you need every side of the stadium. Just like if you're an athlete, if you're LeBron James, you're not just like, oh, I'm just doing this for my mother. You're doing it because you need to shut up this side of the stadium because you're playing in visitor arena.
Right.
And the way I drove my business at the beginning was, yes, I drove it with love. I want to help people out, but I also needed this chip on my shoulder. And I made this list inside of my life. And I'm like, all right, this person did me dirty. This person talked shit about me. This person said this. Melissa did this. This person did this. This person tried to threaten me. This person opened up another company and stole my people from my company. And I just made this list. And every fucking time I woke up in the morning and I'm just like, yeah, I'm tired today. I don't want to do the business. I think of the fucking names.
That's right.
And I tell people, I'm like, when you stop inside of life, work in your business, stop selling, stop showing up on social media, I'm like, you just gave those fucking people, those haters that doubted you, you just made them right.
Exactly.
And I don't make people right.
That's right.
You could talk shit about Daniel G all you want. You can walk out of here and talk shit about Daniel G, but I promise you, I'll be on social media and then everybody can come back and see that I don't stop and I'll give them my story. So that's the point. I always try to control it where I'm like, they can say whatever they want. But the moment I stop is when I make these people right. If you don't stop, they're never right.
That's right.
I'm like, they're only right when you stop. You prove them right when you stop working your freaking business.
That's right.
So I think you need that chip. And a lot of leaders don't talk about that. A lot of people are just like service, but you need also that like turn on switch to be like, don't fucking let these people make you right. Just because this was your past doesn't mean that because they're going to judge you off your past.
That's right.
But they only become right when you keep living your past.
That's right. You know, I tell people time will tell who was right all along. And that's one of my driving forces. I love when you come check on me, you see I'm doing way better than I was the last time you checked on me. And that's a drive for me. I just told my girl this weekend, she's like, so coach, what do you want me to do? I said, show the fuck up this weekend. Show out. And I started naming people. I'm not going to name them here. I said, I want when they see our pictures on Instagram and Facebook, they wish they never left. They wish they never played with us. She said, oh, now I get it, coach. Why you didn't tell me that? I said, always. We always are impressing people and showing up. What do you mean? That's a part of what we do. We make people wish. Listen, this is something I learned years ago, and this is the second time I've ever said this, and I feel like I can say this on your show. Every woman got to want to be you, and every man got to have a fantasy of wanting to fuck you. You have to create a narrative in your mind that every woman is so inspired by, I wish I could be like her one day. And every man has to, even if it's just for a split second, gotta visualize, God, I can't imagine being with her. That's the underlying game that
powerful.
I play. And I never told nobody. So this is my second time in 15 years telling that story. And let me tell you something, like you have to understand how to move in and out your feminine and masculine energy. So like when I'm with the girls, I know what every girl wants. Every girl wants to be told she's pretty. Every girl wants to feel pretty. Every girl wants you to acknowledge her hair, her nails. She wants you to say something about her clothes. Like I'm the girl, like within my business, I'll take the girls out and I'll buy the girls flower. I'll buy you a flower. So like I've had girls want to like me because I treat them like they wish their man would have treated them. I would open the door for her. I would put a chair for her. I would make sure I order her drink for her. Those are nice little masculine things that makes you feel like, oh my God, I wish I could be like Coach Stormy so bad. And I'm not afraid to say, you are so pretty, girl. That disarms you, like, just like that. I'm pretty, you pretty. I'm like, you beautiful. To the point where you almost wonder, is she gay? No. I would do all the things you wish your man could do.
I want to look at a single woman for a second, making money. She's on her grind, she's making money. She's going from 5,000 a month to 10,000 a month. And now you're at 15,000 a month. You're good. You know, you're independent, you're good. You've been single throughout your life. Now you have an amazing man beside you, right?
Yes.
And what is it like, your mentality when you're working your business and you're trying to find the right guy? What's your mentality for finding the right guy, number one, inside of your life? Because it can get so distracting around so many good, successful people. You meet them every single day. Guys, they sell you the sales dream. They'll sell you the freaking dream, blah, blah, blah. What's the mentality moving as a powerful woman inside a business? What's the mentality when you're like, okay, this is the right time or this is the right person to kind of like also focus on my love life? And these are the check marks that you need almost when it's the right time to move. Is there a time to get with a guy? Is there a time to drop guys? Like, what's the mentality moving as a woman? I can only ask certain women that have built up a big team, a global organization that made millions of dollars and that kept growing. But I can guarantee you had relationship problems.
I have.
But you still show up every single day. How do you move as a woman through building the business? What's the check mark? It's a loaded question.
So nobody has ever asked me that question. And I can't be anything but honest. First of all, and this is gonna get deep, okay? There is a reason and a season and a time and a place for every type of relationship. Now, if you're married, this is not applicable to you, right? But if you're single, you have to create an environment where you can pick, choose, and refuse the man that meets where you are, right? So there was a time that I didn't need a boyfriend because I didn't have the time to be in a relationship. And I think women, if you could afford to take that into consideration, you should. A man is a responsibility. And if you broke, you should not be trying to go on dates and do all that right now, especially if you're not together. Imagine you're depressed, you got low self-esteem, you're fat, and you're broke, and you meet a man. You've attracted some way, somehow, I don't care what you think. That is not the relationship that you're probably supposed to be in because you attracted that man in your low season. We don't never talk about these things. I don't care if the man got money. I don't care if he got, you think he got money, he got a big Bentley, a Rolls Royce. What is not aligned with that man that your broke ass, your fat, your insecure self attracted this man?
Right.
So we never take that into consideration. So I think that we should pay attention to where we are vibrationally before we get into a serious type of relationship. Now that I look back, I remember I dated a guy in one season of my life because he was available to travel with me, and I needed security, I needed support, there were times I got horny. I didn't want a man that made me feel like I had to be his woman. I wanted what I got from him at the time because I'm on my grind. I wanted to dismiss you when I wanted to dismiss you. I didn't want the responsibility of a king, of a man. Like now I have a man. There's no, all right, bye-bye. There's no disposal. There's no, you pick, choose when you feel like it. No, we're in a relationship. There's things that we have to do for each other. So now that I'm healed, and I'm still healing, you never are fully healed.
Correct.
You could be healing from something that happened yesterday. So now that I'm in my serious healing journey and I understand that I am a boss, I am a businesswoman, I am a mother, I am a daughter, I also understand the difference between feminine energy and masculine energy. I understand how to communicate effectively with a king. Here's what I look for. This is what I know now. I call it Chris. To see women, you should not date a man that doesn't care about his credit or doesn't have credit. I've looked at every relationship I've been in, and a man that doesn't care about his credit is a very irresponsible man. I'm not saying he got to have A1 credit, but he has to be cognizant of credit and be paying attention to it and not just, I haven't paid my car note in 3 months and think it's cool.
Hey, no. But I'm going to pause you on this acronym right now.
Chris.
Okay, yeah, Chris. So you're credit first, right?
Credit first.
Now, Vanessa's dating me. And when you check up on the guy's credit,
that's casual conversation.
Okay. So is that like week one conversation?
Yeah,
like you're just chilling in the car and you're saying,
yeah.
"Hey, babe, what are you doing for credit score? Like I'm trying to buy a house. What's your credit score? How do you approach this?
You don't,
as a lady, because you want to check the guy's credit. I need to give strategies to the ladies. I can't just leave them on this.
Yeah, you don't.
How you doing
first
this?
Of all, women
how do you finesse this conversation?
First of all, women have to know how not to have interrogating conversations. Listen, how do you feel about your credit? Tell me what's your credit score? Straight to the point. I don't need your credit. I just want to know if I'm with somebody. I want to know we have the potential to build. One of my beliefs and something that I live by, laws, is progress is the key to happiness and the glue that makes happiness stick. If you have bad credit and don't care, and it's just a casual question, you may be like, I don't give a damn about no credit. I got cash. I'm not trying to make you be what I want you to be. How's your credit? What's your credit score? I bet your ass got a 500 credit score. You ain't got no credit, just to get the feedback.
Yeah, check their temperature,
That's
see
it.
where they're at.
I'm not gonna go deep into it. If it's like, man, I don't give a fuck about no credit.
Don't even bother.
That's it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, you now you're at, yeah. But if the guy's like, I got a 550, but babe, but then he's like, but, you know, I'm working on this right now. And then you're like, okay. Progress, got the glue. So that's it. So you're like,
he's aware, he's working on it, not like no ignorant nigga.
It's not X off, but you're just in the gray area. Let's see if he's actually gonna work. Okay. Then the next one. Okay.
Health.
Okay.
He has to care about his health. I dated fat guys before, no disrespect. And I thought it was cool because, you know, where I'm from, when you got a big belly, that means you eating good.
Yeah.
I cannot date a man that's just fat and sloppy and don't care about his health.
Why?
Because you're gonna be sick, and I don't want to be the one having to take care of your ass. You're going to be sick one day. I'm not.
You mean literally sick, like with big health complications?
Yeah, if you don't care about your health, and why are we dating? And I know eventually you're gonna be in the hospital. I know that already. You don't care about your health. You don't eat properly. You don't care about working out. You don't take no vitamins. You could care less. If I am a queen, and I view myself as a queen, I'm already knowing if I'm gonna be with you in 10 years, we're gonna be in the hospital all the time. I'm not interested.
But question now. If I'm a guy and I come in overweight into the relationship, now you like me because I'm funny, blah, blah, I have money, but you see I'm a little bit unhealthy. Would you at least give me the leeway, the advice, the game plan? Because I want to be with you. So I'm going to be like, well, babe, I get it, I have a gut. But what you also don't see is I went through X, Y, Z inside of my life, right? So it wasn't, I didn't understand that health is important. So you're going to put in place a game plan for me?
I'll give you like 90 days.
Got it. Get me on the T's and everything?
I'll give you like 90 days.
Okay.
If you don't care, like I am not about to be visiting nobody in the hospital every week because they got diabetes, high blood pressure, and a pacemaker because they didn't care about their health.
So it's not just about good looks.
I'm not
you don't
interested.
Care about that.
No.
Okay.
I want to know because again, if I'm gonna be with you and I'm a queen, right? I don't want to be sleeping around with multiple men every year. I got a new man. So if I'm gonna be with you for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and I could see your routine and your habits, I know it's just a matter of time. I'm gonna be visiting your ass in the hospital, and I'm not interested.
Stormy, something came to my head right now, and we're gonna go to the next ones. Something else came to my head. So it's like, that's only for somebody that's serious. The acronym you're saying right now is for somebody that's serious. This acronym doesn't work for people that they don't know what they want in the next 20 years.
That's right.
It doesn't work for them.
No.
Because you won't give a shit if the guy's sloppy and overweight because you're not looking at him like, hey, we gotta be together. We're gonna be having sex for 25 years. And I can't be having sex with you when you're on a hospital bed in 25 years down the road. So this acronym works for people that are like, hey, this is who you want inside of your life because you're at the right space inside of your life.
That's right.
Right? You're at the right vibration. You have that mental real estate. You're good. So you start looking at these acronyms, right? So you're like credit, health,
real estate.
Real estate.
You have to have your own place to live.
Oh, okay. So you don't need $5 million in investment like you just posted.
No. You need to have your own place. There are men that don't have nowhere to live. Like you may not know about.
But what do you mean? Like they live on the street?
They live with their uncle, their brother. They have roommates. They live with their homeboys. They travel and they live in different hotels and they have a storage unit. Like it's just men that don't have nowhere to stay.
Right.
They live with their mom or their cousin and their auntie. They live roommates. No, you gotta have your own place to stay. That is yours with a key.
Question on that, why?
Because you're not responsible and you gonna come live with me? No, if you can't take care of yourself and provide yourself with a home, a roof, how are you gonna be able to provide me with one? If you're a grown man, remember, I don't wanna build a man. I build my businesses, I build with my children. You gotta have a place. How you a grown man and don't have a roof over your head?
Now, but what if I'm dating a woman, right? Like, listen, I can tell right away, if I'm dating a woman, how about if she doesn't have a place? Like, is that, like, if she's, let's say I'm 30, she's 35, right? So I'm gonna talk for the men too as well, because I gotta defend some men out here. How about if the lady, 35 years old, doesn't have her own place? Doesn't have a kid, doesn't even have a place.
You should be suspect. That's the suspect. Why are you 35 years old? Yeah, why are you 35 years old and don't have a place?
So this applies for male and females?
Absolutely.
Got it.
I think if I would have known this 10 years ago, I would have been single for a long time. These are things that leaves room for failure. It is just inevitable that that man is going to be living with you. And then who knows, is he going to be able to afford to help pay the mortgage or your rent? Now you got a man living with you because he's really homeless. So does he really like you? Or did he need a roof over his head? You think he likes you because he moved in with you? No, he didn't have nowhere to stay anyway.
This is so much deeper than just this, because it's deeper than this, because a guy can lie for a couple months and pretend like he has a place.
Absolutely.
And be like, hey babe, you know what? Like do a little finesse. You know what? let me take care of all the bills up in your house. And maybe the bills are only $800 a month, but rent might be $4,000 and he can't afford $4,000. And he's just coming in there and being like, babe, what's your carpet? 400? Okay, what's the mortgage? 300? What's the insurance?
You better
500?
know, Daniel.
And then he just comes, because I have it. I have a lot of girlfriends. And I'm like, you just got finessed.
You just got finessed.
Yeah, because the guy just went in there and you're like, oh, he's so good, he takes care of my bills. Yeah, but you just fucking put a mortgage down, $150,000 mortgage down on that house. He didn't put $150,000 down on the mortgage.
Tell these people watching your show.
If it's $75,000, tell them to put up 75 then.
Tell these people again.
No. If the house, if it's $1 million and you put $200,000 up in the house,
you let him come over
I
your
just
house
texted one of my exes.
with your furniture,
yeah,
with your hardware, with your down payment, with your closing costs.
Okay, you don't have a house, bring up the money then.
Exactly.
Is the way it should be.
Thank you.
Right? Bring up the money, put $100,000 in, and then we can split the bills.
Or we go get a place together.
Right.
No man should not have a roof over his head if he's a grown man. That shows that he is irresponsible. He cannot take care of himself. He is not prepared to take care of you. And not one time did I say, give me money. I didn't say nothing about give me money yet.
Right.
I have my own money.
did.
I have my own money.
Right.
The I is investments. He must have some way to not have to get up and go to work. I don't want a man that has to clock into a job. It's not going to work for me. You must have freedom.
So they just don't transactionally work and get paid.
Hey, I don't care what you do. I mean, as long as it ain't selling drugs, that you could go to jail. But you need to know how to make money without having to open up a business or go to a job. It's not going to work. You're going to resent me. When you see me traveling, doing what I want, waking up when I want, you're going to not like me because I get to do what I want and you don't. That's not going to work. He have to have his way of making money, either investments or being innovative, that he doesn't have to open a door, go to a job. It's not going to work. And then the S is support. He must have like brothers and homeboys and friends, mentors, people he could go talk to. A lot of men don't have friends. And you don't realize that that's a problem because now you're his only friend. So when he got a problem, he gonna come to you. Hey, babe, you think I could borrow some money? Hey, babe, I could use your car, because he don't have no friends. I would never do that again.
So you look at their support circle?
Definitely. That my man has the best support circle. I love him and his friends.
Right.
They are real friends.
Right.
I be listening. I love you, bro. How you doing? You good? Everything all right? How your kids? Like real friends. If he needed something, he not gonna come to me. He would go to them first. I will be his last resort, but it also shows how he treats his friends. If he don't have no friends, that means he don't know how to treat you. Because every person that knows how to treat people, we're gonna have friends. Like I could not disappear off the face of the earth. Everybody will be looking for me.
Right.
Like you.
Right. Yeah.
You
If I'm
can't
gone
just
for like
disappear.
10 hours.
They're looking for you.
Sure.
Where's
Yeah,
Daniel?
yeah.
Why can men not have friends or women not have friends and think that it's cool? No, what's wrong with you? That nobody loves you and cares for you.
That's so important.
Yes,
you know,
where's your
it's
friends?
this acronym. Like I could talk about this forever, but the last one that you just mentioned too as well, like the support thing. You know, there's men that make millions, but they also don't got support in relationships. They may have made their millions weird. They may have fucked over people, and you don't know that as a woman because your feelings overcome all the other bullshit.
Hello.
Right? So it's like one day, Stormy, I called up one of my friends, one of my homies. He's in business, multi-millionaire. I call him up. I didn't mean nothing, right? Because usually guys, yo, what's up? What are you doing? Yo, we got this business idea. I just called him one day. I was driving. I'm like, yo, let me call this guy. So I called him up. I said, bro, what's up? He's, nothing, man. What's up with you? Nothing, man. Just chilling. I just finished the run. Nice. You need something? Like, no, bro, I'm just checking in. Yeah, but everything good? Yeah, bro, I'm checking in. Like, how's life? No, it's good, but you need anything? I'm like, bro, why can't people just check in on each other? I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm good, but I'm just checking on you because as homies,
that's not normal.
As homies, we go through bad things, just ourselves. And I'm like, it was weird for me to check in on that guy, but I'm like, dude, people got to support each other.
Exactly.
Like, I'm like, people don't know the shit that we go through sometimes because we get beat up and we suffer. As men, we don't vocalize shit, you know?
Right.
So I'm like, bro, dude, you got a problem. I'm like, I couldn't even check in with you. I just wanted to share some shit with you that wasn't even about business. I just want to see how what's up with you, blah, blah. So when you said that, I said, that's super important because a lot of guys, either, they get money and it fools women. It fools women because they're like, oh, he's good. He's successful. Everything's good. But it's just a cover up. He might not have good relationships. He might not have loyalty inside of his business or his companies or whatever he has.
That's right.
And you might just be his thing to fill up a little void inside of his life.
That's right.
So it's super important.
That's right. And
very
then
important.
You go, you were with soul ties trying to release all these men you slept with from your soul when you should have a criteria and standards. You rise to the level of your systems and your standards, and you fall to the level of your goals.
I just posted something about this. I said, I think we're very similar where it's like you got love, but you also seem aggressive like me towards some people. Like you're hard on some people. And one guy asked me, it was last week when I was at my retreat, he's like, man, so, you're super hard on people. And I asked him, I'm like, well, to who? And he's like, well, you're just super hard on people. I'm like, well, not to the people that got high standards.
That's right.
I'm like, I'm only hard to people that don't give a shit about their life.
That's right.
I'm not hard to, like, my guys, Moose and Jimmy, they don't think I'm hard on them. They want to make $1 million a month. I ain't hard
That's right.
on people that have high standards. I said, you're only hard on people that don't give a shit about their life.
That's
so
right.
somebody that has high standards will always seem difficult on somebody that doesn't give a shit about their life and has low standards.
That's right.
Like high achievers always hate low achievers and low achievers always hate high achievers. They get sick to their stomach always.
What?
Like, so I'm always thinking, I'm like, I am only aggressive. My passion comes off as aggressiveness when I'm trying to pull the potential out of somebody that doesn't want to fucking move.
That's right.
And the reason why I put that post out, because I told the leaders, that people that feel like they're aggressive sometimes, I'm like, don't let lazy ass individuals cloud, you know, like your work ethic and you trying to pull the greatness out of them. Don't let them cloud you, because they're gonna make you think some other shit. Oh, you're too aggressive, Daniel.
That's
you know,
right.
you're too passionate. You speak
That's
too
right.
much. No,
That's right.
you're too
That's
uncuffed
right.
and stuff like
That's
that.
right.
I'm like, yeah,
That's
to
right.
people that don't want to make $1 million. I even go on stage. Hey, I go on stage and I will literally, and by the way, this ain't easy to say to network marketing communities, because in network marketing, it's more so of like, love everybody where they're at. And that's what community is. So if Jessica's ordering $300 a month, you got to love Jessica where she's at. And then I come on stage, I say, guys, I just want to let you know, I'm not the person to help you make $500 a month. It's not just in my heart. I'm not that person, so you might not like me. My standard is to get everybody here to be six-figure earners.
That's right.
So I'm like, it's okay if you don't like me, because I'm trying to, my language doesn't even come off to people that want to make $200 a month. My energy is not going to come off to people that want to make $200 a month. I can show you how to do it, but you're going to dislike me in the next 2 weeks, because I'm going to try to pull the best out of you.
That's right.
Right? And then after I realize that I don't want to pull the best out of you, I'm going to go to somebody else and try to pull the best out of you.
That's right.
But I'm never going to drop my standards for somebody that doesn't want to make 6 figures a month. And I'm not going to talk to you guys like babies and try to make you, oh, Carol,
you don't even know how to do that.
You can get off your ass and do it. We're adults. I tell people, hey, we're adults. These are the standards that we're going to set. Anyways.
You don't even know how to do that.
No, I don't know how to. I don't know how to drop it down. I tried to.
It doesn't
One guy
work.
said, hey, can you do it on a contract? I had a call with CEOs. Hey, can you say this and you can say that? I said, I could try. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's not true.
Yeah.
You got to be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tell people, I hate to see a winner lose, but I love to watch a winner win. The one thing I hate the most is to see somebody that's supposed to win lose. And I know that our job is to continue to show up as our authentic self. And the ones that's supposed to rise up with us, they will go with us. And the ones that's not supposed to, they'll find somebody else to follow. Mm-hmm. And that's fine with me. As long as I stay authentic and I keep, you know, showing up. My goal is to help 1,000 families every single year, make 6 to 7 figures. Why do I say that?
Wow.
Because I could easily get complacent. Like, it's nothing that I want that I can't buy. I'm not trying to pay my light bill anymore. Mm-hmm. That used to be a driving force for me. How do I pay my light bill? How do I pay, you know, my car note? You know, how do I buy groceries? No, my goal now is how many people can I impact? And how much fun can I have in the process?
You know, it's historical, right? That would go down in history if you keep doing that.
That's my goal. That's my drive. Like, I'm never retiring. I'm setting myself up to have options where I could still make $200,000 a month and not have to do anything. Like, I have to do what I'm doing now to make money. Mm-hmm. I'm not in a place where I could just chill, not to make, you know, $60 million a year. Mm-hmm. So I can't chill right now. So when I get my $60 million a year, I'm going to get to a place where eventually I'll be able to say, nope, 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 I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. I'm going to be doing things strictly for impact. I don't care what the dollar amount is. And I'm almost there. And I'm
strictly for impact.
Strictly for impact. I can't wait till somebody want to offer me like $100,000. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested.
Right, for some coaching or something.
I'm not interested.
Right,
I want to do things that I'm
right,
interested in.
Right.
And what I want to do, what makes me feel like I'm completing my mission, which is to be one of the most impactful women that ever lived, while doing whatever I want for myself and for others. I love freedom. Mm. I love that I could say, I'm not interested.
Yeah, that's the best feeling. Like,
you
have leverage.
Section 8. I come from Section 8 food stamps. I come from, you know, WIC. I come from government assistance. There was a time where we was proud to have a Section 8 voucher to cover the rent. Mm. Now, I gave that Section 8 voucher back. My house is paid off. I'm going to build a community. I'm going to build subdivisions. I'm going to continue with my legacy. I'm only 44. I'm going to build a huge catalog of digital products. So when I do die one day, because I am going to die, they can go back and my kids are going to make all that residual from all the digital training that mom put together at different websites that they could just get all my catalog everywhere. Like, I love Jessie Lee. You know, we posted her the other day. We just celebrated her 1 year. I mean, I wish I could have went to a strictly Jessie Lee catalog website with everything, learning from how to launch to this, to that. She was a fucking genius.
Right, because she just started doing that.
She
started to realize, like, oh, I need this. I started building for her before she passed.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, yeah. We started building out everything, the sales team and everything.
So
'cause
you
that's
was
what we
doing
do.
that for her?
Yeah, we do. Because I have the sales agency. So we brought in the sales reps, started doing the digital products.
Do y'all do online sales too?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
But I love that you said that because people don't think about that, like having digital assets that can create residual income. They only think, which is important, real estate, I'm gonna buy a building for my mother or father, but they don't think that there's a whole digital assets game online too as well. Like there's a residual play online where you could still collect. Like I think of it, the way you just said that is, you think of somebody like, Napoleon Hill, or you think of somebody like Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich. These people sort of had it because there was a book that creates you residual for the rest of your life. And it's still gonna bring in the family residual income if you have a #1 seller. And now you're just able to do that at such a faster pace. You build a brand, you have digital assets, and those digital assets live on forever. They did it with books,
forever.
and now we can do it digitally online.
Communities, I don't know if you know, but like Clever. So his coaching company, he sold his coaching company, right?
No.
He sold his coaching company, community/company for like $25 million.
Wow.
I mean, who knew that there would be a day that we could literally sell a coaching community?
Right.
For $25 million. And
Right.
Sold it and walked away, and he's doing something else. So now we could build catalogs, trainings, communities, and package it and sell it. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, because it's IP, which basically means like, people pay for the contacts, the leads, the community, because somebody can go in there and they see value just as a brand, and somebody can come in there and now they can see like, oh, it's just not just a brand, a community. It's people transacting. It's people buying.
That is new.
Right.
We're used to do content, throw it on YouTube. Like, what I'm literally building out a catalog. Like I have a network marketing masterclass. I made over $2 million with that. I just launched a new network marketing masterclass. I just recorded it. I'm gonna take my time, enjoy the journey, but I'm gonna do so many .coms, and I'm just gonna have a list of renew these, $27, $49, $97, $9.99, download the workbook, awakening workbook, download. Just literally, you could binge watch Stormy on your phone and learn and feel like you're with me in the learning process, because I'm more of a communication type of teacher.
Right.
I'm not like step 1, do this, and step 2, to a certain extent, but I'm more like, you're very, I'm like, it's not what's taught, it's what's caught. Like, I bet you this will be one of your #1 viewed videos.
It will be.
Without us saying, step 1,
Yeah,
you should do this, and then champion.
No.
Like, people
We're
love
gonna run
the
an
flow.
event, just you and I.
Yes, I would love to freaking do that.
Because this should be an event right now.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, this
people
should be an
want what's
event,
real, they want what's raw, and they want what works. And if you could give them that in a way in which it feels exciting, you cut the learning curve by like 50%.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
Do you, does Stormy Wellington ever stop? Like, do you ever, meaning, is there gonna be a time where you're like, I'm done, I'm retired, 60, I ain't doing this anymore, I'm good? Or do you see yourself working till you're dead?
Till I'm dead.
Till you're dead, right?
This is not work for me.
Right.
This is,
it's all one.
I enjoy it. Like right now, with the digital product that I'm creating, and of course my drop shipping business as well. What I want to do right now is create all of the systems and just freaking have fun. To the point where I'm sitting with you and we're going live at a restaurant.
Yeah, and still bringing in business.
That's it.
Yeah,
like, I want to travel.
One.
I want a private plane, and I want to go on tour, and I want to be with the people, and then go home that night, and then be with the people again tomorrow. Like, I love transforming lives. I love the people. I just love it, and it's nothing I would rather do. I mean, when I take it, like, I take Sundays off, so kind of take Sundays off. By Sunday, 8 o'clock, I'm bored. I'm like, okay, this shit is boring.
Same. Yeah, because that's my family day, because, we have it's family
like,
day.
Bored.
I'll post 2 stories. People be like, yo, you dead? I'm just like, yeah, I feel it too. I need to be back on,
and
right?
you're ready on Monday.
Yeah,
you love, it's your purpose. I think it's when you discover your purpose and it leads to a paycheck and prosperity and you feel fulfilled, growth and contribution is just, to me, the greatest vibration to live on. And as long as we keep doing that, why would you want to retire? To do what? Pick the grandkids up from school every day and drop them home? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's boring.
I asked you that question because, like, the way you answer is the same way I'd answer. Like, I don't ever see myself stopping. That's it. Like, we're just an engine. It's like what we love doing. And, I talk to some people on the phone and I have to keep them in check because they're like, they say, man, I just want to retire. Blah, blah. I'm like, you already have the wrong intentions from the get. You're not fired up. You don't have that desire. It's like, dude, you're 25. What are you thinking about retirement and stopping right now?
I want to hit the stage with you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I love the people.
Yeah. It's like,
I love the
it's
people.
like, I just want more. I want the fire to keep going. I said,
That's
keep the campfire burning, I always say. I don't want the campfire dead.
And you know what I think is important? To also understand how to communicate in different audiences. to be able to be effective, that everybody can get the message and they can go build from it. And I think that's what you bring to the world. I want to tell you that. Like when I went to your event, your people are so electrifying, and that is a strategy. You could be the smartest salesman in the world, but if you have no energy, nobody's gonna buy nothing from you.
Yeah, of course.
And so that energy that you transfer into your audience and the belief you give them with the confidence, I just want to commend you and let you know it's just incredible. And I saw you at work, and I don't know anybody as electrifying as me on the stage than you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I think more than ever that's what people need today, because there's so much strategy. And you know, when you came on too, the moment I knew, I was just saying it before the podcast, you came on and you jumped off the stage and you started doing your thing up and down. You got people, you know, fired up just to put them in the right frame, in the right mindset, because they won't be able to catch what you're saying unless you wake them up in the beginning. So you got to fire them up in the beginning. You set the standard in the beginning too as well. And I think, to me, like, that's things that it comes through. You just don't get it overnight, because you're saying that to me, but like some people be watching, but I'm not Coach Stormy, I'm not Daniel G, and I can't be a good speaker like that. But that's also came from a million one-on-one conversations, a million live streams. Like if you like, hey, some people are like, yeah, but I have nobody watching me on live. I have 2 people watching me on live. Yeah, practice when nobody's watching, because that's what we did.
Absolutely.
You know, we practiced when we didn't just become a good speaker overnight. We got hunger and desire. That's one that you can't train on. And the other thing is like practice now.
That's right.
You know, because you earn the 10,000 person stage, the 5,000 person stage. So see if you're fired up when 2 people are watching live. Because I know for a fact when I started live streams probably maybe when you did like 2017, 2018. I was on lives, Meerkat, Periscope, Instagram Live, Facebook Lives, and there was 3 people watching. And I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm talking about, I don't know what I was talking about at that time. I didn't even have a system, a program, a course. I'm just talking. And people would get out, and there was one person there. It was probably my aunt, and I'd be like, Zia, just come on my live quickly, so at least like there's 1 or 2 people up in there, and I'm talking.
That's right.
Because I remember there was a quote by J. Cole, and I'll never forget it. He was on stage, and it showed J. Cole with 300 people in a warehouse, and then they said, he's like, yeah, the 30,000 stages, stadiums and arenas are good. But he's like, when I sang to those 300 people, it's like I was singing to 30,000 people, right? And I seen that quote when I was young. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you train 1 person like you're training 1 million.
Exactly.
You train 6 people like you're training 6 million. You're never going to get to the 6 million people.
It's the law. You got to do it. It's right. The law.
Anyways, I appreciate you.
I had a great time.
Boss.
Thank you so much for having me.
This will be the #1 episode for sure.
I believe it. I know
this will be the #1 episode. And this is just the start, something amazing.
Let's go.
Okay? Appreciate
you. See you guys at the top.